Hey, this is RonnygoBOOM, and welcome to my trap tutorial. Today I'm going to show off the coolest fall traps I have ever heard of in my life. I kind of invented it, not to brag, but I didn't do it alone. There was actually this guy named Pi who recently came out with an awesome video using the new slime blocks in 1.8, and since it's my last day in Auburn, I decided to do the AU symbol with these cool new chiseled red stone bricks. Well, anyway, let's show off this trap. This is not the best trap in the world. In fact, it's kind of crummy. It's super predictable, and tons of people have done it. Basically, if you ever see a hallway that's too wide like this, it's pretty much guaranteed to be a trap. It's really easy to hide tripwire. Even if you make an undetectable trigger, people still won't go in these hallways. So this trap design is obsolete. I've come up with a new trap design over here that's quite a bit better, but it's still not perfect. Now, alright, so these carpet on the floor might make you a little bit apprehensive, but the trap works the same whether you have carpet or not. The purpose of the carpet is actually just to lift you up one tiny bit above a block so that you trip my my killer rabbit of Carabanog. That's a proximity detector that I invented. You can click here for the video. It's a pretty cool trigger. Well, anyway, so what happens is obviously that floor opens up. So what do? Let's try to get around it this way. All right, and we get pushed in anyway. Well, how does that work? That works because I have tileable double piston extenders on the side. And here's the design right down here if you'd like to see the tileable design. Pretty simple. I'll just leave it here so you can copy it. Note, no ticks on these repeaters and 4 ticks on these. Just 1 on each and then 4. And the redstone input comes in the back like this. So what I did for this was I just have a single line coming down and repeaters on each so that they all hit the same time. In this design, I used furnaces here because they can't be moved by pistons, and in this current design, pulling these bottoms out, it would push a block up in this place, and I didn't want that to happen, so I replaced it with furnaces. Any kind of chest or dispenser would work to prevent that from coming up, obsidian. But if you didn't want that, if you wanted it to be flush with the same block type, you can use this over here, which is a design that I made using MumboJumbo's Monostable circuit in order to get a quicker pulse that doesn't push that block back up. And it's pretty simple, and it's as well, you can send that redstone pulse down an entire tileable hallway. So this one's cooler because it's 6 wide, and you could have the ceiling as tall as you want, but if you want to use my proximity detector, and by the way, these could be, oh darn it, sorry rabbit, these could be solid blocks and it would work the same way. Alright, for this next trap, we're looking at this. This looks like a normal cave, right? Well, we're going to step in here, and I didn't set up a trigger for this one. I just decided to use this as a trigger. Pretty simple. But pretend you set off an invisible trigger, and you fall to your death. And not only do you fall to your death, but you're trapped inside here. And if you happen to be standing on these two so that you don't fall in between when the pistons move, I have this inevitable barrier coming, and you can't escape it. And eventually, you fall down. So let's pause this and see how it works. So I had some sand sitting up here. These are... I'm running a snapshot, so we have a lot of visual glitches, obviously. These signs are not supposed to be there. They're gone. They're not holding on to anything. But I just had this falling sand to trap you in place, and then I have this moving floor. So we've been able to do this since pistons came out. This moving floor moves from the ceiling over the top and then the side, and then I replaced some of the blocks with fence posts, alternating between regular fence posts and nether brick fence posts so that they don't connect to each other and you can fall in a pit trap and die. So Pi has a really good timer that I used. His video on how to use these walls is incredible. I totally suggest that you go subscribe to him and view his channel. He only comes out with about one video every month, so he doesn't post often, but when he does, his videos are really incredible. I very strongly recommend. So over here I have 6 different repeaters pushing these to 6 different ways. And you have a rotating floor. So that's bigger than the 6 wide. This can be up to, I think, 10 wide is the maximum that you can do for this type of floor. And it takes a little bit longer to kill somebody, so you do need a mechanism to keep them inside. Ideally, I would have sand fall on both sides, but I think you get the picture. Now over here, this is where it gets cool. This design is actually infinitely repeatable. So over here we have a floor that rotates around, and if you can trap somebody on it, it will kill them. You can see the fence posts are coming. Pretend I'm just stuck here. And here are the fence posts. If you're really good, you can parkour between them, but it's really hard. And then if you end up at any time in the middle of one of these glass blocks, you could potentially fall right through. And if you have the see what I mean? It's difficult to stay up. So something I noticed from doing this, it's pretty cool, is if you're standing in the center of one of these blocks, you fall through almost every time. So for example, let's take some cows. We'll spawn some cows here, and we'll show you how difficult it is for them to stay on when this piston is going. They fall almost instantly. And if one happens to be standing in between blocks, as soon as that fence catches up to them, they're done. So all you have to do is put a fall trap underneath, and they simply can't stay in that block. They just glitch through. And if you have these fence posts, then they always fall through. The cool thing with this design, however, is that once you have these slime blocks, you can make this infinitely long, and you can also make it infinitely wide. So you can have a very, very large floor. And I'll show you with this design. It pushes these blocks forward. Now over here, this is the grand finale. This is the special treat. So in here, I have created a faction base. Just a sample use for this type of floor. So in here we have our factions base. I have all my chests. I have my enchanting table. I even have some stairs that go over to a villager spawning area. Very cool. And sorry, not a villager spawning area, a villager trading area. So this is most of what you need in a faction. I might have some some crops growing at lower levels, but for the most part I have all of that I need right here. Now what happens if somebody gets in your base and you want them to die? Sometimes you could go in there and kill them, but pretend you have 3 people that have broken into your base and you want them. Alright, so you want them to die. All you have to do is come over here and hit this lever, and they certainly will. Now let's go see what it looks like on the inside. So they were in your base. You managed to trap them in there for just a moment, and here it comes. Even if they happen to stand on the corners between these and manage to survive that way, if you notice, the stairs were gone. I had them pulled back, and eventually, up there they come. Those are the fence posts, and there is no way they're going to survive. They fall into your hoppers, and all their loot is collected. That is a killer fall trap. And as you notice, let's just look at how this is done. I guess I can make a tutorial in a different video. Basically, it's the exact same thing as Pi's video, except for instead of doing walls, I did a floor, and then these push up to the ceiling. Then they push across. These help it make further across. And as you can see, this is infinitely expandable. I can make this floor as wide and as long as I want it to. That's about it. I hope you like this video. I apologize for the quality. I simply don't have time. There's some really cool things going on in my life. I'm leaving Auburn. I got a job as a biology teacher in Orlando. So instead of working 60 to 80 hours a week for 2 Men in a Truck, a moving company that I've been doing for the last year, I'll be working 40 hours a week. I'm very excited about it, making twice as much money, and getting to do something that I really love, and that's teach. I've wanted to teach for so long. Teach biology. I can't wait. I'm so excited. But I'm still going to be making Minecraft videos. I'm still going to be making inventions and factions and everything. So subscribe to my channel, watch my stuff, and I hope to see you soon.